Hello children, hope all of you are fine. Today we are going to have our class in the video mode. That is, I'll just record this video and send it to you so that it will be useful for you. Now we are almost at the end of the chapter of triangles. So we have the last exercise, which is exercise 6.5, that we are able to go through, and then I think we are left out only with some 3 or 4 problems. Because all the 4 problems are important ones, I thought I will do it along with you in the class. So it is a recording, so I am just imagining you are there in front of me and I'm doing the class. Just go through the video and try to understand the problems. If there is any doubt, you can always get back to me. So to start with the exercise 6.5, the leftover problems, let me go to the screen share. Yeah, I think I'll share my desktop here. Okay, so this is that exercise 6.5 that we are seeing. We were already through question numbers 11 and 12. Most of you have done it, and I'm happy that you're sharing it with your remaining friends, the understanding that you had. So, moving on, we will start with question number 13 now. So, question number 13 goes on like this. We have D and E are points on the sides CA and CB respectively of a triangle ABC, right angled at C. Prove that AE square plus BD square equals AB square plus DE square. So we don't have the diagram here. So first we have to draw the diagram. So let me take you back to another place where the diagram is there. Yeah. So this is the problem that we are just discussing now. Sorry, this is problem number 13 that we are discussing. So I'll just move this screen slightly down. Now I think it's readable now. Yeah. So we have a triangle ABC right angled at C. So this is my original triangle ABC right angled at C. I have to prove that AE square plus BD square. So the AE is here and the BD is here. I have to show that AE square plus BD square is equal to AB square plus DE square. So AB is here the original triangle and DE is for this smaller triangle. So I'm going to consider 2 triangles now having C as the 90 degrees. So the 2 triangles, I will try to show it to you in 2 different colors. See, I take red. I take the original triangle as the red triangle here. So I'm just marking that triangle in a different color, that is AB, BC, and then the AC. So this is the first triangle which contains that AB. So it is a right triangle, right angled at C. So AB becomes the hypotenuse. So I can say AB square is equal to AC square plus BC square, which I call as equation 1. Then the next triangle that I shall be taking is the smaller triangle DCE. So I'm going to look at this triangle DCE. So can you look at the smaller triangle there? That's also a right triangle whose hypotenuse happens to be DE. So when I go back to that DEC, I can write DE square is equal to DC square plus CE square by the Pythagoras. Now I have 2 equations whose left hand sides are AB square and DE square. So when I add them, I get AB square plus DE square. So whatever happens to be on the right hand side is fully added up like this. So I have AC square plus BC square plus DC square plus CE square. So this I am just readjusting here. So I'll just show you how that readjustment is done. So I have this AC square and CE square taken together. It is this AC and CE. I have taken it together. All right. So that I have brought it down here. Then I have taken the remaining 2. That is the BC square and the CE square. Can you see that? The BE square and the CE square. So when I group them together, the AC square plus CE square. Now come to the diagram again. So when you have the diagram here, now you see what is this AC square and CE square. Where is this AC? AC is here, CE is here. So they are a part of the third triangle, I can say. So I'll take the third triangle now. The AC is here sorry, the AC is here and the CE is here. Can you see? So it is again a part of a right angle triangle where you have your AC square and CE square, which will be equal to the hypotenuse, which happens to be AE. So I write AC and CE together as AE. Now the remaining is the BC square and the CE square. So let me see what is this BC square and CE square. So let me mark the BC. Yeah, this is your BC. And then I have the BC and the CE square. BC square and the DC square, sorry. So this is the DC. So when this DC and this BC are added, again, it's a right triangle. Just a minute, I don't know, I think okay. So this is your DC. So again, it is a part of another right triangle whose hypotenuse is BD. So your BD square is nothing but your DC square plus BC square. So this is replaced as BD. So in other words, I can say this AC and CE together, it has gone and become an AE. Then when I have the remaining, that is CE and BC, has together gone and become BD. So this is how the grouping is done, and hence you get your result. Now you see you got the right hand side. That is AE square plus BD square, which is what you wanted to prove. So now I stop my screen share. And then I think one problem is done now. We have finished with exercise 6.5, the 13th problem. Now we'll move on to the next problem, which I think I will take you to my okay, so this is where you have come. Now I am on problem number 14, right? We wanted to do problem 14. So this is our 14th problem. So, but we'll first try to understand the problem. The perpendicular from A on side BC of triangle ABC intersects BC at D. So there is a perpendicular AD which intersects the base BC at D. And it is given that your BD, this segment BD is 3 times CD. So BD is 3 times CD. Prove that AB square 2 times AB square is equal to 2 times AC square plus BC square. So I have to prove this. So I start with this is what is given to me. So the diagram is very clear. I have a triangle with a perpendicular AD to BC. So because I've drawn the perpendicular there, now I have two right triangles which are formed. So I have an AB square, I have an AC square. So AB may be in the first triangle and AC is in the second triangle. So we'll see how we can go about doing this problem. I'll shift to the next page and show you what all we have done. It is given that a perpendicular from A on side BC intersects BC at D. So your DB equals 3 times CD is given. AD is perpendicular to BC and this is 3 times CD. In right triangle ADB and ADC, these were the two triangles I was talking about. This is triangle 1. If this is triangle 1, if this is triangle 1 and this is triangle 2. Okay, so these are two triangles where you can apply the Pythagoras. So your AB square will be BD square plus AD square and your AC square will be CD square plus AD square. So this is what is we have written as two equations here. Now because we need, what did we need? We needed an AB square, AC square and a BC square. So AC and AB we are able to get. So I got it from two of those triangles, right triangles. So I have two equations. Now I will subtract the two equations. Why subtract? Because I know I want AB in terms of AC. So when I subtract this, the right hand sides also get subtracted. So I get BD square minus DC square is what is going to remain because this will get eliminated in both the equations because I'm subtracting them. So finally I will have 9 times CD square in place of BD square because what was given, my BD is 3 times CD. So in the place of BD, I'm going to knock it out and put 3 CD the whole square. So 3 CD the whole square will become a 9 CD square. And then this DC is nothing but CD, so minus CD square. So 9 CD square minus CD square will give you 8 CD square. Now this 8 CD square is getting substituted as some BC. How is this argument happening? Now your BC is DB plus CD. How is BC DB plus CD? BC is nothing but DB plus CD. That means you add these two segments, you get back BC. So that's how BC is written, DB plus CD. But already my BD is 3 times CD. So from here I am bringing that 3 times CD. So 3 times CD plus CD will make it 4 times CD. All right. So when it becomes 4 times CD, what is that you want? It will become 8 times your BC is equal to 4 times CD, or your CD will be BC by 4. BC by 4. So in the place of CD, I write it as BC by 4 the whole square, which will be BC square by 16. Because the 16 is in the denominator, this in the 8 in the numerator, I will get the left hand side, that is AB minus AC. AB square minus AC square will be equal to your BC square by 2. Now this is very simple. You have an equation with the denominator here. So when you cross multiply, this 2 goes to the left hand side. So it will become 2 times AB square minus AC square is equal to BC square. Or in other words, this 2 is getting multiplied with both the terms inside the bracket. So you have 2 times AB square minus 2 times AC square equals BC square. Or in other words, when you shift this AC square, you get 2 times AB square is 2 times AC square plus BC square. So this is exactly what you wanted to show. So using the Pythagoras 2 times in these two triangles and making the rearrangements with what is given to me, writing BC in terms of CD and BD, we are doing all the rearrangements there to get your AB and AC in terms of BC square. Once that is done, you are just doing a little transposition of your equation to get the required result. So that was your problem number 14. Now we will go to our problem number 15. Okay, in an equilateral triangle ABC, D is a point on side BC such that BD equals 1/3 of BC. Prove that 9 times AD square equals 7 times AB square. So it is not difficult to do this problem. It's only looking as though it is too much of fractions involved, but it is very simple. Now the basic thing given is ABC is an equilateral triangle. So only this is given to me. And D is a point on the side BC. So D is a point on the side BC such that your BD is 1/3 of this entire length BC. This alone is given. You are just joining A to D, where D is a point on BC such that your BD is only 1/3 of the total length BC. Okay, so this is given to me. Now, because it's an equilateral triangle, I have a construction which I have done. That means I have drawn AE perpendicular to BC. Now, because it is an equilateral triangle, because it's an equilateral triangle, your AE is the perpendicular, means the AE will also become the median. Because in an equilateral triangle, I have always told you, both the median and the altitude will coincide. So if I draw AE perpendicular to BC, it means AE is also the median of BC, or in other words, E is the midpoint of BC. So there are so many other things now I'm going to get because of this construction. Now BE will be half of BC. Do we agree on that? Because the BC is bisected by E. E is the midpoint of BC. So BE will become half of BC. This is a very important thing that I know. Now, if BE is half of BC, then how will I get DE? When I want DE, what should I do? From DE, if I remove BD, I will get DE. That's why I've shown it in 2 different colors. All this I'm telling you because all this I'm going to use in the triangle that I'm going to take. So I have written BE as half of BC. I wrote BD as 1/3 BC because it is given to me. And I can write DE as BE minus BD. So when I move to the next page, you see what is it that I have written as some prerequisites that I got from my diagram. BE is half of BC because E is the midpoint of BC. Already BD is given to be 1/3 of BC. This is given to me. And I have taken DE as BE minus BD from the diagram. I'm going back again. DE, I want the length DE. That is that yellow line minus the pink line. The yellow line or the yellow segment represents BE. and the pink segment represents BD. So from BE, if I remove BD, I get DE. That's what I have written here. My DE is BE minus BD. Now both BE and BD I have written in terms of BC. So when I substitute this, it is become 1 by 2 BC minus 1 by 3 BC, or it is half minus 1/3, which is 1/6 BC. So I have got DE also in terms of BC. Now what is your AE? We have done this in the previous exercise. If AE is the altitude of an equilateral triangle whose sides are all A units in length, then what is the length of the altitude? It is root 3 by 2 times A. That is, this is a proof that we did in the last exercise. Instead of writing root 3, I wrote it as 3 by 2A because I'm not able to insert that root 3 here. See, they have shown you here. AE is nothing but root 3 by 2 times A, where A is the side of the equilateral triangle. That is your AB, BC or AC. Whatever you take, it will be taken as A. Now, when I have all these segments, now I'm just going to do a few adjustments in my triangle ADE. So I'm going to focus on triangle ADE. Look at my triangle ADE. What kind of triangle is this ADE? It is a right triangle whose hypotenuse is AD. So my AD square will be equal to DE square plus AE square. I already got DE in terms of BC. I also have AE in terms of BC. BC or AB, whichever it is, because AB, BC, all of them are equal because they are equilateral triangles. So I'm writing AD square as AE square plus DE square. So I substitute in the place of AE root 3 by 2 times A. A means which is the side of the equilateral triangle. Again, DE I have written as 1 by 6 of BC. Whether it is BC or AB, everywhere you can write it as A units because it's an equilateral triangle. So when I substitute this and simplify, I get this fraction as 28A square by 36. 28 and 36, common factor being 4. So 7 by 9 AB square. In the place of A, I can write it as AB, BC or AC. All the three sides are A. So my AD square will become 7 by 9 times AB square. And hence the proof. So it is simple. Only thing you have to write AE and DE in terms of the side of the equilateral triangle, which I have shown how this argument has come. So if you see it 2-3 times, if you listen to me carefully with the diagram seen at times, you should be able to do this problem. Then the last one that we are left out with is the 16th problem. Yeah. Okay, this is the last one that we have to discuss. We shall quickly discuss this and complete the chapter. So in an equilateral triangle, prove that 3 times the square of one side is equal to 4 times the square of one of its altitudes. So in an equilateral triangle, we know to find the altitude. If A and A is the side of the equilateral triangle, we know the altitude of the triangle will become root 3 by 2 times A. This is just by the application of Pythagoras because this is A. Your CE will be A by 2 because E is the midpoint of BC only because it is an equilateral triangle. So your CE is A by 2. This is A. So to find out AE square, you must write it as AC square minus CE square, which will be 4A square minus A square by 2, A by 2 the whole square, which will give you root 3 by 2A. So AE is nothing but root 3 by 2 times A. So when I go back and substitute it in the right triangle ABE, I got my BE as half of BC and I got my AE as root 3 by 2 times A. So all this when I substitute it here in triangle ABE, which is the triangle I am concentrating ABE. In triangle ABE, AB square will be equal to BE square plus AE square, which is what I'm trying to substitute. So AE is, I'm writing it as AE square itself plus BE is half of A. That is the side BC divided by 2 is your BE. So A by 2 the whole square. So when I just substitute AE square as A square minus A square by 4. So when I write AE square as the subtraction that you do here, that is 4 minus 1 by 4. That is 3 by 4 A square. Your A square becomes equal to 3 by 4 times A square, or when I cross multiply, I get 4 times AE square is equal to 3 times A square, which means 4 times the square of the altitude, because AE is the altitude for me in the triangle. So 4 times the square of the altitude is equal to 3 times the square of one of its sides. Because the side of the triangle, we have taken it as A. So we are coming back to the diagram. If this is going to be my A, suppose I write it here so that it is clear for you. This is A. Okay. This is also A. Now this is C. The distance will be, this will be A by 2. So this will be A by 2. I'm writing it very badly because with my mouse control I'm doing. So this is A by 2. This is A. So when I take the altitude, A square is nothing but AB square minus BE square. BE again is A by 2. So that is how you substitute it there and you're able to reach here. So you're able to say 4 times A square is 3 times A square. Or in other words, 4 times the square of the altitude is 3 times the square of one of its sides, and hence the proof. So all these 4 problems have been very frequently asked in the exams, and hence I had to discuss all the 4 problems. So with these 4 problems, we are completing that exercise 6.5 today. And the chapter is also over now. So with all the theorems and all the exercise problems that we have discussed so far, I think the chapter should be clear to you. You should be able to recall all the theorems and apply them fruitfully in various problems given to you. You should apply the correct theorem at the correct place. There are certain tactics that you have to learn in geometry. How to apply what is known and given to you to arrive at what you want is the geometry that you have to learn. So because you've been doing this from class 9, now I think it should be more naturally happening with you. But still I have tried to help you with this video. So just go through it carefully, go through it again and again till you understand. And still if you have any doubts, you can always get back to me. All right. So we will meet maybe in the next class with a new chapter. So till then, please go through all these problems and complete your classworks. So it is a thank you and a bye from here. So hoping to meet you maybe tomorrow or next week, let me tell you. So thank you.